The Equal Rights Amendment, or ERA, is once again at the center of national attention, and outgoing President Joe Biden has made his position clear. In a historic move, he declared the ERA as the law of the land, urging the nation to enshrine equality for all, regardless of sex, in the U.S. Constitution. This announcement marks a significant moment in Biden's presidency as he aims to cement his legacy during his final days in office. But what exactly is the ERA, and why has it faced such a turbulent journey? Let's dive into the history, the challenges, and the potential future of this groundbreaking amendment. The story of the Equal Rights Amendment begins nearly a century ago in 1923. Women's rights activists, led by Alice Paul and the National Woman's Party, introduced the ERA to Congress. Their goal was simple yet revolutionary: to guarantee legal equality between men and women under the law. At the time, the concept faced significant opposition. Critics argued that such an amendment wasn't necessary, or that it could disrupt traditional societal roles. Decades passed, and the ERA remained a dream deferred. Fast forward to the 1970s, a decade of transformative social change in America. Women's liberation movements gained momentum, and the ERA was reintroduced to Congress. In 1972, it finally passed with overwhelming bipartisan support. It seemed that equality under the law was within reach, but the process of amending the U.S. Constitution is notoriously difficult. After passing Congress, the ERA needed ratification by 3/4 of the state legislatures, 38 states in total. Congress initially set a deadline of 7 years, later extended to 1982. By the original deadline, only 35 states had ratified the amendment. Despite widespread support, the ERA stalled. Opposition groups, many led by conservative activists like Phyllis Schlafly, argued that the amendment would undermine traditional family values and lead to unforeseen legal consequences. The ERA was declared effectively dead, but the dream of constitutional equality didn't die. In recent years, the political landscape has shifted. Renewed debates over issues like reproductive rights, LGBTQIA+1 protections, and the gender pay gap have reignited interest in the ERA. Legal scholars and activists began questioning whether the original deadline imposed by Congress was constitutional. In 2017, Nevada became the first state in decades to ratify the ERA. Illinois followed in 2018, and in 2020, Virginia became the 38th state to ratify the amendment. By this count, the ERA had met the constitutional requirement for adoption. This brings us to President Biden's bold declaration. In a statement released earlier this week, he said, "In keeping with my oath and duty to Constitution and country, I affirm what I believe and what 3/4 of the states have ratified. The 28th Amendment is the law of the land." But is it that simple? Legal challenges remain. Some states, like Kentucky and Nebraska, have attempted to rescind their original ratifications. Additionally, the U.S. National Archivist has declined to certify the amendment, citing the expired deadline set by Congress. Biden's support for the ERA has drawn praise from advocates and political leaders. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand described the moment as historic, saying, "This is an incredible moment for reproductive freedom and equality." Representative Ayanna Pressley added, "By declaring the ERA as law, President Biden is taking an important step toward protecting the rights of women and LGBTQIA+1 people, defending reproductive freedom, closing the gender pay gap, and addressing gender-based violence. The stakes are high. If the ERA is recognized as the 28th Amendment, it could have far-reaching implications for laws and policies across the country. For example, laws that restrict access to abortion or discriminate based on gender identity could face new constitutional challenges. However, not everyone agrees with Biden's interpretation. Opponents argue that the expired deadline makes the recent state ratifications legally irrelevant. This means the ultimate fate of the ERA may rest in the hands of the courts or future administrations. As President Biden prepares to leave office, his declaration signals a call to action. He may not have the power to unilaterally implement the ERA, but his words have reignited a national conversation about equality and justice. Now, the question is, Will the ERA finally become a permanent part of the U.S. Constitution? And what will it mean for generations to come? This is more than a political debate. It's a reflection of our nation's values and its commitment to equality. As Biden stated, we as a nation must affirm and protect women's full equality once and for all. What do you think about the Equal Rights Amendment? Should it be considered the law of the land, or are there still unresolved legal hurdles? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this important issue. Together, let's stay informed and engaged in shaping a more equitable future for all.